Hi students, in the last class we have discussed about types of adsorption, factors affecting adsorption and adsorption isotherm, Freundlich adsorption isotherm, and the last is application of adsorption. And next today we are going to deal with these topics: types of catalysis, theory behind the process, and effect of catalyst on the rate of reaction, characteristics of catalysis, and finally enzyme catalysis.
Types of catalysis. Depending upon the physical states of reactants and the catalyst, catalysis can broadly classified into following two categories, that is homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. Consider this figure. Catalyst may be either homogeneous or heterogeneous. A homogeneous catalyst is in the same phase as the substance reacting, and heterogeneous catalyst is in different phase. Let us discuss detailedly about homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. By definition, homogeneous catalysis means when the catalyst mixes homogeneously with the reactants to form a single phase. Here the phase formed is single phase, and it is said to be homogeneous catalyst, and the type of catalysis is known as homogeneous catalysis. Consider the example. Here sulfur dioxide is converting to sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide converting to sulfur trioxide in presence of nitric oxide as a catalyst. This is a type of homogeneous catalysis. That means here the reactants are in same phase, that is gaseous state. Reactant sulfur dioxide is in gaseous state and oxygen is in gaseous state, and the product formed sulfur trioxide, it is also in gaseous phase, and the catalyst used is also in gaseous phase. So this type of reactions are homogeneous catalysis. Heterogeneous catalysis means when the catalyst does not mix up homogeneously with the reactants and forms a separate phase. Here a separate phase is formed, and it is said to be heterogeneous catalyst, and this type of catalysis is known as heterogeneous catalysis. Consider the reaction. Nitrogen on reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. Here the reactants are in gaseous state, and also the product is in gaseous state, but here the catalyst used is iron and the phase is solid. So here it is, phase is different. So this type of catalysis is known as heterogeneous catalysis. Now let us discuss the theory of homogeneous catalysis and the heterogeneous catalysis. The theory behind homogeneous catalysis is known as intermediate compound theory. Intermediate compound theory. And the theory behind heterogeneous catalysis is adsorption theory. Adsorption theory. Let us discuss detailedly about this theory, the steps involved in the theory. Consider the figure. This shows the intermediate compound theory. The role of a catalyst in homogeneous catalysis can be understood in the light of an important theory known as intermediate compound theory. What are the steps involved in the intermediate compound theory? Here, the homogeneous catalyst combines with the reactant to form an unstable intermediate compound. That means in the first step itself, reactants combines with the homogeneous catalyst to form an unstable intermediate compound. In the next step, the intermediate compound thus formed either reacts with the other reactant or which decomposes to form desired end products, and the catalyst is finally regenerated. Here unstable intermediate is formed which is having lower activation energy, then it is decomposed to form desired product and the catalyst is regenerated. These are the main steps involved in the intermediate compound theory. Next is theory of heterogeneous catalysis. The mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis can be understood with the help of adsorption theory. Here, according to adsorption theory, there are three important steps are there. First step is chemisorption of reactants on the surface. Second step, occurrence of chemical reactions at the catalyst surface. And the third step, desorption of product. That means, in the first step, the surface of the solid catalyst possesses a large number of free valencies or active site, and this acts as a seat of chemical force of attraction. Here, the reacting molecules are adsorbed. That means, chemisorption of reactants on the surface of the catalyst. In the second step, a chemical reaction is taking place. And in the third step, the desorption of the product molecules takes place. What are the three steps in the heterogeneous catalysis theory of heterogeneous catalysis? In the adsorption theory, there are three steps. First one is chemisorption of reactants on the surface of the catalyst. Second one is occurrence of chemical reaction. And the third one is desorption of product. Next section is important characteristics of a catalyst. There are three important characteristics. First one is specificity. That means the catalysts are highly specific in nature. Second one is activity. Activity means the ability of a catalyst to accelerate a chemical reaction is termed as activity. And the third one is surface area of the catalyst. Next we will discuss the effect of a catalyst. This is an energy profile diagram which shows the different pathways, that means reaction without catalyst and reaction with catalyst. From this diagram, we can clear that reaction with catalyst is a speed process and reaction without catalyst is a slow process, and this energy profile diagram gives the idea of activation energy with catalyst and activation energy without catalyst. Activation energy with catalyst is very low and activation energy without catalyst is very high. These are the main things that we have to study in catalysis. Next we will discuss the topic enzyme catalysis. So what are enzymes? Enzymes are globular proteins. That means several chemical and biochemical reactions occurring in the animal and plant bodies are catalyzed by an important group of globular proteins are called enzymes. So enzymes are globular proteins. By definition, enzymes may be defined as an important class of globular protein which act as a biocatalyst. Which act as a biocatalyst in the living system and are produced by the living cells. Once more, enzymes may be defined as an important class of globular proteins which act as a biocatalyst in the living system and are produced by the living cells. Next, we will consider the characteristics of enzyme catalysis. There are different characteristics, so we will consider only 5 characteristics. First one is specificity, second one is catalytic efficiency, and third one is very small quantity is sufficient to catalyst a reaction, and the fourth one is optimum temperature and pH, and the fifth one is enzyme inhibitor. Let us discuss detailedly. First one is specificity. Enzymes are highly specific in their action. That means, consider a reaction urea to ammonia. This type of reactions are catalyzed only by the enzyme urease. But it does not hydrolyze N-methyl urea. That means, consider this reaction. Here, the urea is catalyzed by the enzyme urease to form ammonia. In the second reaction, It is a derivative of urea, that is CH3NHCONH2. In presence of urease, there is no reaction. That means the enzymes are highly specific in nature. Second characteristics is catalytic efficiency. That means enzymes are highly efficient catalysts. That means they speed up the reaction. And the third one is very small quantity is sufficient to catalyze a reaction. That means very small amount of enzyme can be highly efficient. And the fourth point, optimum temperature and pH. The catalytic activity of an enzyme is maximum at a particular temperature and pH. That is, the optimum temperature is 37 degree and the optimum pH is around 5. And the last point, enzyme inhibitors. The action of enzymes are controlled by various mechanisms and they are very sensitive to the inhibitors. These are the main characteristics of enzymes. We have already discussed about enzyme catalysis and the characteristics. Now we will discuss the mechanism of enzyme catalysis. Mechanism of enzyme catalysis can be explained by lock and key mechanism. According to lock and key mechanism, an enzyme catalyzed reaction involves 3 different steps. In the step 1, binding of an enzyme to the substrate to form an enzyme substrate complex. Consider this figure. Here the enzyme reacts with the substrate to form an enzyme substrate complex. In the next step, product formation is taking place, that is enzyme substrate complex changes to enzyme product. And finally, in the third step, release of the product from the enzyme takes place. That means enzyme product changes to enzyme and product. Consider the 3 steps. In the first step, enzyme represented by E combines with the substrate S to form enzyme substrate complex. Second step, enzyme substrate complex changes to enzyme product complex. The third step, enzyme product decomposes to form enzyme and product.
So let's conclude this topic. Today we have discussed about different types of catalysts, that is homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis. Then the theory behind this catalysis, that is intermediate compound theory, is based on homogeneous catalysis, and adsorption theory, which is on heterogeneous catalysis. And finally, enzyme catalysis, and the mechanism behind the enzyme catalysis is lock and key mechanism. I hope